We begin Week 12 of the Gainbridge Super League in the nation's capital. Tonight, DC Power FC take on Fort Lauderdale United FC. DC head coach Omen Namazi describes Susanna Fitch as one of, if not the best, right back in the league. And the home captain has a stern test tonight. Fresh off a game winner on Saturday, Jasmine Hamid is trying to lead Fort Lauderdale to back-to-back road wins in a matter of days. The Gainbridge Super League is up next. Audi Field is the site for tonight's contest. Alongside former collegiate defender Jay Barquette, I'm Jack Edwards with you on Peacock as DC and Fort Lauderdale play for the first time here this evening, the first of 3 meetings in the season in the Gainbridge Super League. It's an important one for both of these sides entering into this game. We can look at the standings as things stand. Fort Lauderdale in second spot, a chance to leapfrog Lexington with 3 points, while DC Power still games in hand on the sides in front of them, but would love 3 points to get closer to that playoff line in 4th spot. Let's look at the home side first with DC Power. They're at home where they've struggled so far this season, Jade, looking for their first win at home.
Last season in their 2024-2025 season, they only won 2 games at home, 8 losses, 4 draws. They've only scored 5 goals at their home pitch. Out of the 13 that they've scored this season, home field advantage is supposed to be a big thing. DC just hasn't really gotten control of that this season at all.
They had a 1-1 draw against Spokane when they were last at Audi Field. Gianna Gorley's been fantastic for this team all season, 5 goals, and plays her former side, Fort Lauderdale, today.
That's always interesting when you play your former team, all of the emotions that go into that. But like you mentioned, she leads the team in goals. She's also DC's all-time leading scorer with 12 goals. She's on October's Team of the Month, really here to drive this DC team, their energy, but also their attack.
We've talked about the home struggles so far this season for DC, how they're trying to correct that. It's been a good start to the season on the road for Fort Lauderdale, 3 wins in 5 games.
They just know how to attack. This team is so together. The closeness and their chemistry really allows them to play free wherever that they are. Their weapons in attack just put them in good spots to score. They can score off the run of play and also from set pieces. Really makes them versatile in attack. 4
of their last 5 games have been on the road. They're coming off a win on Saturday, and a remarkable stat at the bottom of the screen here. They lead the league in shot conversion, scoring almost 16% of their shots.
That's just about efficiency in front of the net. They don't take a lot of shots. Like you see, they're the least in the league, but they convert when they're in front of goal, and Allie Rogers for them is going to be happy with that stat. Interesting, but really cool to see how good they are in front of net.
One player who's been crucial up front for them has been Kelly Van Treek. He's been so good since coming in, 3 goals, 2 assists, tied for most in assists.
She's a player that can create for them on the wing side. Their whole front 6 really are good in transition and really good rotationally. So she finds herself up top, outside, can put the ball into the box, but also is in positions to score too. The fluidity of rotation for up top in Fort Lauderdale is something that is really good in attack, and she leads that.
She's one of the 2 changes made by Allie Rogers. We'll tell you about the starting lineups for both of these teams and have first kick on the other side of this break at Audi Field. It's an important 3 points on hand for both teams in some midweek Gainbridge Super League action.
Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Week 12 of the Gainbridge Super League starts here at Audi Field. DC Power FC take on Fort Lauderdale United FC. Alongside Jay Barquette, I'm Jack Edwards with you in the broadcast booth. The first meeting of the season between these two sides. For DC Power and Omid Namazi, they make two changes from their 1-0 defeat at Brooklyn last time out.
Really just wanting to see some hunger from this team. You mentioned Susanna Fitch, who's that wing back for DC, can get up and down the flank, really to create things in attack for them. But Gorley up top as well, we mentioned her, really looking to get inside and attack this back line of Fort Lauderdale, who's been so stable this season.
Deja Torbert, one of those changes, moves up front. For Fort Lauderdale, a similar story in terms of changes. They also make two off the heels of a 1-0 win on the road in Carolina.
You have Mika Maskey in the back line for Fort Lauderdale. They're her third start in the last 3 games. So composed in the back line for them. Shania Gordon's also back in the back line. She's been versatile up top as well. They have so many weapons in this lineup that they really can use in rotation to move around.
They've won 2 of their last 5. It was at Carolina and at Brooklyn. They've gotten their last 3 points. They're on the road again today in the nation's capital. You see in the all-black kits, Gianna Gorley leads the line, leads the team in scoring for DC, and plays her former side. Made 9 appearances to start her Gainbridge Super League career for Fort Lauderdale at the start of the 2024-2025 season. And play is underway here at Audi Field. Moving from right to left will be DC in those all-black kits. In those white tops will be Fort Lauderdale United. Early pressure from Shania Gordon results in a throw-in here for DC Power, and the pressing of Fort Lauderdale going to be a big thing to watch out for here today. In the midfield, Bagley trying to turn, unable to do so. The bet able to go back to Madison Mikamiski, who again, as you mentioned, Jay, makes now 3 straight starts in the back line. The Australian 26-year-old center back, sent at 6'1", has been very composed since coming in. Across her 2 starts before this one, just 1 goal conceded, a clean sheet last time out against Carolina in a really tough place to go and earn some points. There's an early free kick here going the way of Fort Lauderdale United.
Head coach Ali Rogers told us that she just likes to build up and really fits into her system that way. She had a little bit of trouble with the visa issues of the Australian visas just getting into the system and allowing her to play. But now that she's here, she had the time to just soak up all the information of how the team plays and what her coach wants from her. And now that she stepped into that, it's so seamless into this transition. She fits so well into how she likes to play with the ball, so composed and calm when there is pressure. You see her just playing so simply out of the back against this tough DC attack.
It's a throw-in now for Fort Lauderdale United. We'll see how it continues here under Ali Rogers, her first full season as the Fort Lauderdale United head coach, and with the club since year 1. We'll see how the shape continues to progress, but it's Ella Simpson at right back, Shania Gordon at right wing as things stand. We'll see how that continues throughout the contest. Here's the nation's capital. Here is Gordon, the captain. Rolls one back to Simpson. Nabet has some space in the midfield and can try and spray a pass that only finds Susanna Fitch. See that record top left of your screen has them in 7th spot so far, DC. 2 wins, both of those on the road. Bagley trying to squirm between 2, was fouled by Nabet and wins a free kick early on for DC.
This DC team has gone through some adversity. Head coach Omid Namazi telling us that everyone's healthy now, which is fantastic at this point in the season, but they've had to play a lot of players throughout their team. It's just made their bench stronger. The more depth that they have, the more well-rounded their team is. And this DC team, yes, 7th place, but I don't feel like that is a testament to really who they are as a club.
Ali Rogers, talking to her, mentioned it's been a big change for the team from year 1 to year 2. Omid Namazi coming in with his tactics, his plan. It's a long ball forward, one for Gorley to chase. Mikamiski has to be careful here. Gorley making life difficult, and in that process, commits a foul 3 minutes into the match. There is Omen Namazi, first season with DC Power. Mentioned the 2 wins they've gotten so far. Their last one was at Dallas in a 3-2 win at the Cotton Bowl. Able to ruin the home return for Dallas after a while on the road for them. They had to work hard in that match as it got later on into the game, going more direct. Dallas were. They're still winless at home this season with the 1 defeat, 4 draws here at Audi Field. And last time out against Brooklyn, it was that direct style that really caused them some problems. They're trying to correct that here today when they face those situations.
Yeah, he said he wasn't necessarily disappointed in the way that they played, but he wanted to see his team go up for those tackles and duels more, and felt like Brooklyn kind of walked all over them in that sense, and they really didn't get stuck in as much as he wanted them to. I really feel like they didn't play to their style and their character of DC Power soccer.
Almendarez goes to Alexis Theoret. Shows good composure in the midfield, where she is playing here today, has been in the forward line. We'll talk about that more in a moment as this one squirms kindly for Emily Colton. Has a few options with her and can go at it herself, and it's parried away. Bella Hara able to get in front of it, and it's cleared away for a DC throw-in right off the heels of the first shot on target of the match for either side.
Great build-up by DC, really patient. This one out in the wide areas, and a great ripping shot outside the box. Hera having to extend her body length the whole way, but Bedoya was hanging out on the backside for DC. If that ball was just lifted across, she was wide open on the far side to maybe put that one in on a better angle.
It's going to be a throw in here for DC. Let's look at another replay of this one. It's a good angle. The shot from Colton.
Just slips right through everybody, doesn't touch anyone. A prime shot on target. Hera having to come up early for Fort Lauderdale.
9th start of the season now for Bella Hara. This one not fully dealt with. Gorley capitalizes, her shot blocked. Colton moves one along. Fitch, she can clip one into the box, aiming for Gianna Gorley. And this one is knotted up, not out. Bedoya pokes it along. This one squirms in the box. Colton's shot is blocked. Took a deflection along the way. Really good work from DC to keep that ball inside the 18-yard box, and their reward is a corner kick.
Fort Lauderdale not being able to clear the ball gives DC the opportunity to attack. Fitch with the beautiful ball over the top, well defended by Simpson, and then just the lack of clearances for Fort Lauderdale allowed this one to stay alive for DC, pinging around in the box, just giving them second and third chances there.
First corner of the match for either team. It's on the near side for the home side. It's clipped into the area at the edge of the 18, I should say. Theoret has it poked away from her, and Stella Numetchi is able to capitalize as a run being made from Princess Adamluyi. Loses out on that one. A tackle from Ellie Gilbert results in a throw-in here for Fort Lauderdale. So some early pressure from the home side. Adamluyi trying to turn on this one. This ball bounces back towards her, but Theoret is able to poke this one along back to the back line, the back three of DC Power. Almendarez now with Jada Bedoya. That pass was a little underhit. Theoret does well under pressure to squirm it all the way back to Morgan Aquino. 10 starts now this season for Aquino. All of the matches in the Gamebridge Super League have been started by the Perth Australian native. Here's Bedoya now up the near side. A bit of strength shown by Nabet. Gordon second to this one. Here's Numetchi. Hera trying to go long against this press from DC Power. Kelly Van Treek, their last touch there. It looks like Van Treek playing at left back. A lot of versatility in this side for Fort Lauderdale United. They moved Shania Gordon from a right wing position that she played at a lot of parts this season into a more defensive role this season, but we asked Ali Rogers about that, and our call with her this week, is that something that you can try and bring her back to? And it's oppositional was the way that Ali Rogers framed it with Shania Gordon in that right wing spot.
And you love that from your coach to have the confidence in her players that move them at a moment's basis on a week-to-week basis, wherever you need them, depending on what your opposition is giving you. But we also know there's going to be a lot of rotation in these matches, playing on the road, heavy legs, plane rides, bus rides. This team's going to have to plug players in. And we didn't mention it, but Kiara Locklear not in the starting lineup for Fort Lauderdale today, a part of that rotation.
Yeah, Locklear on the bench for the first time this season. 4 goals. Very good mark so far this season for Fort Lauderdale United, but it's part of rotation that will have to take place. They were in Carolina on Saturday, and a Florida-based team not used to the cold. This one's played forward for Princess Adamaluyi. We'll get back to that in a moment. First real chance in the attacking 18. Here's Yumechi, edge of the box, trying to open an angle. Theoret dives in and wins a good challenge, and now Bedoya can try and go the other way. Slows down here. Oh, trying to turn but loses out. It's out for a throw in here. So the tackle again at the edge of the box from Theoret.
Clean tackle by Theoret, just gets her toe in there at the last second to poke that one away. I was interested to see if she actually got the ball on that one, but she did cleanly. Greatly timed at the top of the 18.
It was a Fort Lauderdale side that were in Carolina. It was snowing on the last day they were in Carolina. Not something Ali Rogers and company in Fort Lauderdale are usually witness to. But they went straight from Carolina to DC, where they play here today. They'll return home for a match on Saturday against Tampa Bay. So 3 games in 8 days. You have to prepare for that. Some proactive rotations. And one of those is Kiara Locklear, who is on the bench, an option to come on. It's a team that's been very good on the road this season. 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat is their record when away from beyond Bankert Field. Trying to tack on number 4. DC trying to tack on number 1 at home this season, as Susanna Fitch wins a throw on the far side of the field. Back to Fitch. Hold centrally for Sydney Cummings. Almendares. Aquino. Bit of time for Gilbert to think about this forward pass, trying to drop one long. Pushed away as Deja Torbert was the one making the run onto it. Now with Van Treek trying to play one into the channel. It's an ambitious idea, one that Morgan Aquino can land upon and play it to Almendares.
DC just making the field really short for Fort Lauderdale, not really allowing them to play through and around them in any sort of space. But when DC gets the ball, they're patient in their build-up, but then they're looking to go forward quickly. It's that possession with a purpose that head coach Omid Namazi is going to be really excited for his team.
Stella Yumechi was trying to tie her shoe and block the free kick from being taken. Danielle Chesky, who is our center official, doesn't want that to take place.
Does she have the phantom shoelaces underneath the cleat? Is that what she's got? I always thought those were so interesting.
Laces underneath?
Yes.
That's odd.
It's the new wave, though.
Did you play like that?
No. I always had really long laces, and so I would trip over them myself because I was clumsy, but also because they were just really long.
That is former collegiate defender Jade Barquette. I'm Jack Edwards here with you on Peacock. It's 12 and a half minutes into this one at Audi Field. Early threat so far, 2 shots. The only 2 of the game have come from DC Power, who've looked the brighter of the 2 sides so far. Both teams on short rest off the heels of their matches on Saturday. Bit of progression up the left-hand side. Laid off the open option. Alexis Theoret can spray it to the far side of the field for Susanna Fitch. Options in front of her. Drives it into the box. It's pushed away by Mikamiski. It comes to Theoret and misses this one off target. She's been in a different role so far this season. Alexis Theoret misses this one off target. You can enter the Brinks Tires Family Day Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $4,000. You can scan the QR code on the screen to enter today. That was a challenging one. In the midfield, it's with Nyemechi and was fouled. Comes away with the ball. Fort Lauderdale again in their build-up. It's lifted forward. In the midfield, a really good first touch from Colton, lays it along. It's clipped forward, a little overhit, and it's back to Bella Hera. Throw in here for Fort Lauderdale. Colton gets to it first, was fouled. Kelly Van Treek a little late to this one.
She knew it immediately, just tapped her on the shoulder and got back to work.
Van Treek in at that left back spot. Julia Grosso, who played there against Carolina, on the bench. It's part of those rotations that we'll have to deal with. DC, I could say maybe a little fortunate, don't have that match immediately this weekend. They next play 9 days from now against Carolina at home.
These long road trips, they can make or break teams, truly. They either bond teams together or you really need a break from your teammates. And when I asked head coach Allie Rogers just about the chemistry of this Fort Lauderdale team right now.
This one bounces in the box for Princess Adamaluyi, trying to cut this one back. It bounces up kindly for Sydney Cummings, who's going to spray one forward quickly back to the Fort Lauderdale defense.
I asked her just about how this team has grown closer over this year, and she really just said they enjoy being around each other, and your chemistry is built through time, and it's also revealed when adversity hits you and when you're not home and in your own beds for a long time or you're in your comfortable spaces. And this team has just grown so much closer together. You've seen their stuff on social media when they were in the snow, playing in it, realizing that there's other seasons outside of just humidity in Florida. It's exciting to see, but then it also translates to the field and how close they are on the field and the way that they play and the success that they have as well.
Here's Bagley for the home side, DC Power. Colton again in a dangerous spot. Again gets a shot away, but again, Bella Hera is the one behind it, stopping another shot from distance from Emily Colton.
DC is really winning this midfield battle right now. Fort Lauderdale's getting extremely stretched in the midfield. Nabet really doing most of the work side to side, but not having a lot of support when it comes to the defensive side as DC is going up the field and really putting the pressure on the back line. They have to tighten up their defensive work in there, but then DC continuing to spread the field, switching the point of attack, really threatening Fort Lauderdale in the quick attacks and shots that they're having on goal from outside the 18.
There's Nabet. Comiskey under some pressure, trying to go longer to Gordon. Maluyi was trying to make herself an option. Forces Sydney Cummings into the clearance out of play. 10 straight starts since joining from Spokane in the offseason for Sydney Cummings in the back line of DC Power. As the player that Namazi identified as a player a bit underrated, her leadership along the back line. It will be tested here. Attacking move from Adamaluyi. It's a foul. That one committed by Paige Almendarez. It results in a free kick in a very promising spot for a Fort Lauderdale side still looking for their first shot. Center forward for the visiting side, winning it.
Just timed it poorly. Adamaluyi doing a good job of keeping the ball underneath her, not allowing Almendarez to really able to touch it at all.
1 goal, 2 assists this season for Estella Nyemechi. It's very good ability from these set pieces. Lifts it into the box. Header goes wide there. Looked to be Madison Mikomiski was the one who latched onto it. So a first shot of the match for Fort Lauderdale United doesn't test the goal of Morgan Aquino.
A great ball in. This one just far enough away from the goal that doesn't really test Aquino at all.
It's a good goal scoring side in Fort Lauderdale United. That's 15 goals scored in just 9 games played. Both of these teams in their 10th match of the season. You look at the table, you say, all right, you have a few more games in hand, and with that game in hand, Fort Lauderdale could go top of the table with 3 points. DC Power, who've played just 9 games, some sides around them 11, 12 matches. They have opportunities to close that gap. But it's games like this one where they'll want to take it, as Simpson throws one in to Gordon. Now Bedoya, a little bit of a bump there. Good strength from Simpson to win it back. Drives it into the box. Cummings pushes it away, and it's flicked along. Torbert got ahead to it. Kaminsky, her pass intercepted into the midfield. It spins kindly, now with Bagley. Cummings. Bedoya. Simpson again getting stuck in on these challenges. Yumechi loses out, and Bagley can sweep one along to the far side of the field for Fitch. Gorley ahead of her, and we'll go backwards with this one. Good numbers back defensively for Fort Lauderdale. Hamid, interception, and keeps it in play. Hamid can drive at the defense really for the first time so far today. Yumechi can play it along one further as well. Shania Gordon gets it into the box. Gordon fires it across. It was touched by Adamaluyi, but only Aquino can latch onto it. A good move from Fort Lauderdale United.
That was a really promising attack for Fort Lauderdale. You saw Hamid draw 3 defenders.
Gorley with a fantastic pass to Deja Torbert, who is one-on-one and makes it 1-0 to the home side. Her first goal as a pro, slots it past Bellahera off a fantastic pass from Gianna Gorley. It's DC 1, Fort Lauderdale 0, 20 minutes into the game.
And what a beautiful finish this was. Gorley just picked this one off, and the back line for Fort Lauderdale wasn't ready for the transition, and Torbert just slipped this one in front post. Hera, who's been so good in this match so far with shot stopping, just doesn't cover that front post well, and what a beautiful finish. Sometimes it's not about how hard you shoot the ball, it's the placement of it, and she does that beautifully there.
It's the home side who take the lead off the heels of the first pro goal for Deja Torbert. 2022 to 2024 with Georgia. Missed the 2023 season due to injury. Had 29 appearances, 6 goals, 5 assists at UCLA before that. And comes in for her first pro opportunity and buries a shot past Bellahera here in her 6th appearance of the season. Throw in here for Fort Lauderdale United. Played back at run out of play. It's a quick turnover. DC have scored first on 3 occasions this season. They've gone on to get at least a point in all 3 matches, just 1 win across those 3 games. They lead early in this one. Torbert with a looser touch. Guntrique, Hamid. One back by Fitch. A stooping header in the midfield from Taylor Smith. You contrast that with Fort Lauderdale, who in their 3 matches where they've conceded first, have not come back to earn all 3 points. 2 draws they have come back to earn from that spot. We'll see how those records are impacted by the next 70+ minutes in this one. Gordon slightly behind Adamaluyi.
And all the chances that DC have had so far in this first half besides the goal were when Fort Lauderdale's back 5 really were set and ready for the attack. That moment they were working back from the opportunity they had just had, and weren't really in position to defend it well. DC took advantage of that immediately.
It's rolled forward here, whipped into the box. It's a little overhit. All the way to the back post with Jasmine Hamid. Return pass. Hamid was offside though. And it's a free kick here for DC Power. Namazi looking on to this one. We're halfway through the first 45 minutes. Jade, what have you made of this match so far halfway through our first half?
Fort Lauderdale just looks a little bit disconnected. They look like they're playing on their back foot, but they've done a really good job of keeping the ball when they have had it. DC's just put their opportunities in the back of the net.
Fitch stumble there. Able to earn at the very least a throw-in. They have been very effective at creating chances, DC have.
Absolutely, and they're just, like I mentioned earlier, the midfield is where they're winning the battle completely. They're really stretching out Fort Lauderdale and able to switch the point of attack seamlessly with one pass because there's that lack of pressure on them in the midfield.
There's a foul going against the goal scorer, Daisha Torbert. Nabetz in the midfield. Yumechi. One forward for Shania Gordon to chase. Almendarez in front. Gordon comes away. Playing through a bit of high press here from Fort Lauderdale with a bit of success. It's moved along now to the near side. Bedoya trying to keep it in play. Simpson does well. Ansbrow. Back to her from Van Treek. The bet shows good strength to win that initial one. Slides it forward. Gorley goes down. And the referee says there was a foul in that instance. A few 50-50 challenges. Madison Mikimiski says, I got the ball. Referee says yes, but a foul was committed. Gianna Gorley slowly back to her feet as she's won her side a free kick here. Looks like the contact comes first. Even a former defender, a center back like yourself, Jade, you have to side with the forward there, don't you?
Yeah, have to. I've made that play before and just walked away knowing that that was a foul. Have to make contact with the ball first, not the player.
So it's a very central free kick from quite a ways away, but you see a line of players congregating outside of the 18-yard box to try and attack a potential ball into the 18. Alexis Theoret and Emily Colton, the two players standing over it. There is four in black along that large group of players on the left-hand side of your screen. It's Theoret who clips it into the area. Dangerous. Gorley brings it down. And the flag went up for offside. Gorley made her run too soon. Trying to spring her in over the top. And just too soon, making her run with Gianna Gorley.
Perfect pace on that clipped ball over top. Gorley juggled it a couple times with her knees. It was unfortunately called offsides for DC because that was a beautiful opportunity for them.
Nearing the half-hour mark in this one.
Yeah, DC just had the better half here. They've come out on fire on their home pitch, knowing that they wanted to get that first home win, taking a lot of shots, half of them being on target, but limiting Fort Lauderdale, which is tough for a team to do because this Fort Lauderdale team is so good at creating opportunities for themselves with the weapons that they have up top. DC just doing a really good job of mitigating any chances that they've had.
Hamid got there first and will win a free kick, and it'll be the match's first yellow card. This one looks to be going the way of Ellie Gilbert. We'll receive the match's first yellow card here in the 29th minute.
Oof, yeah, that will definitely warrant a yellow card on Gilbert. No ball touch there as well. Maybe a get-back foul for her teammate, but definitely setting the tone as DC. Head coach Omen Namazi told us he wanted his team to step up in those tackles and duels, and she right there is setting the standard for the rest of her squad.
Umechi stands over this free kick. DC had an opportunity just a moment ago. Gorley was called offside, so there will be an eye on that as well. Coming from offside positions. Of the whistle. Umechi whips one into the box. Dangerous delivery. And it's not met by anyone in the area. It bounces through for a DC goal kick. It was Kelly Van Treek that was closest on a ball in from Stella Umechi.
Umechi with the great service whipped into the back post. Van Treek was looking for the foul on the trip on the backside, which I see where she's coming from there. But not enough for the ref to call that one. Another opportunity for Fort Lauderdale. But great defending by DC just to not allow her to even get on the ball there. Might have been over her head, but either way, they're doing a really good job in the back line.
With the stats we saw a moment ago, it was interesting, the shot disparity. Both teams have gotten into the final third at a very similar rate. But DC, with those 6 shots they've accumulated, just 1 so far for Fort Lauderdale. They've been much more efficient in the final third. We're seeing Fort Lauderdale trying to change that here.
Yeah, we just see Bagley just going to ground there, getting her toe on the end of it, working back into the back line. It's doing the little things that are really pushing Fort Lauderdale away from their 18. That's helped them so much in this match.
Cleared forward. Taylor Smith pushing it forward. Luyi was making the run for it, but the pass a little overhit by Taylor Smith, who returns in the midfield for Allie Rogers. Missed last match due to red card suspension. A welcome return in terms of options. A team that has a lot of matches in not a lot of time. We have the Florida Derby against Tampa Bay coming up at home. Had a 0-0 draw in Tampa at the beginning of October.
Eerily similar to the final last year.
Eerily similar. So that would make it 2 straight 90s that they have not seen goals in Florida Derbies. We'll see if that changes. Coming up next weekend, matches as always streaming on Peacock here in the Gainbridge Super League. Laid off here. The return pass. Adamaluyi gets onto it. Bounces past one. Thought about the early cross. Does get past Bedoya. Adamaluyi has 3 around her in DC colors. And in the end, Bedoya was able to finally get a foot in to end that attacking move. Bedoya trying to play one along for Gorley. It was blocked slightly. Gorley comes away with it and wins a throw-in. Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. Back to Aquino. It's blocked by Hamid, and it's going to spin out harmlessly. It ends up going out for a throw-in for DC Power. Heart in mouth moment there for Aquino.
Hamid can turn on the jets at any moment. That just a scary moment for DC as she was flying to intercept that ball. They're lucky it didn't go out for a corner kick or deflect back into net. With those, you never know where they're going to go.
Bedoya clears it forward. Simpson gets a foot to it. This one bounces out. Last off Fort Lauderdale United.
And right now, we're just seeing a really hungry DC Power team. They're going hard into tackles, the way that they're moving throughout each other. I mean, Adamaluyi had 3 people around her at one point. You had the pressure, the cover, and the balance all in one area, flying towards her, trying to win the ball back. They're really playing connected. And all of the conversations that head coach Omid Namazi told us about how he wanted his team to be mentality-wise coming into this match are paying off on the field. They're winning their duels, their tackles are harder, and they're converting their chances.
Here's Bagley. Bedoya with it. Her cross blocked, but it bounces back to her. Her second try, cleared away by Nyemechi. Gordon and Theoret under it. Gordon comes away with the ball and rolls it forward. Adamaluyi showing off her hold-up play here. It's poked away from behind her by Almendarez. Hamid, who has moved a little centrally, a slight tug in the midfield, and it results in a free kick. Emily Colton, the one winning the ball there to earn the free kick for the home side. Almendarez, the switch to the far side of the field. It's Gilbert now. Fitch. That's going to be a foul. And it's going to be a yellow card as well. Far side of the field, free kick in a promising spot. 1-1 now in yellow cards it is. 1 apiece for DC and Fort Lauderdale. It was Laurel Ensbrow who was caught in a wide position. Tried to stop the run from Torbert, and the referee said enough there for a foul and a yellow card.
She was just giving her a hug.
It's a nice hug.
Just letting her know that you're not going to move anymore from here.
Ensbrow has to walk a tightrope now in that back line. We'll also have to defend this free kick with 10 minutes to go in the first 45. Again, it's Colton and Theoret who stand over this one. Another slew of bodies inside the 18 to aim for. Theoret over it. Colton short. Theoret with the left foot will lift one in. Initially won by Fort Lauderdale only as far as Gorley. Her shot blocked, vitally so. Bagley rolls the pass backwards. Fitch puts it back in the mix. It's a header that goes to Gordon. A throw in here for Fort Lauderdale, taken quickly into the midfield. It bounces up. They want a handball. They won't get it. DC won't. Almendarez back to Bedoya. See the quick passing they were trying there. That doesn't quite come off. That one hit the hand of Bedoya. Did it? Referee will play advantage. Adamaluyi cuts a low one in. Cummings gets to it and rolls it to Colton. Colton. Bedoya, Gorley, a tidy pair of touches to stay with this one. Back to Theoret, trying to probe a pass forward, intercepted by Simpson. Nyemechi. Aquino.
Almendarez is there just passing the ball back to her keeper, trying to get control of this game. It was really back and forth here for the last 10-15 minutes or so. These two teams going back and forth. Fort Lauderdale trying to push the issue to get a goal before halftime. DC with opportunities to put one away, to put themselves up more. But she just passes that one back so her team can just settle and take a breath.
A back and forth game that has seen possession tilt ever so slightly in the favor of DC Power. Into the box, just too heavy for Hamid from Ademaluyi, the possession number, 50.6% for DC, 49.4 for Fort Lauderdale. Essentially a coin flip in possession so far in this one. It's Deja Torbert who slides the pass forward. She has the goal in the match. Susanna Fitch trying to add to it. Cuts past Van Treek and lifts it into the box towards the back post. Simpson gets ahead to it, and it drops. It's blocked, vitally so, by Mikamiski. Almendarez, Villaret. Now Bedoya, a bit of space to roam into. Bedoya one-on-one with Simpson, gets past the challenge. Bedoya rolls it along, and it's claimed by Hera. Deja Torbert was making that run to the near post, trying to get a brace in the first half. Bella Hera able to claim.
Bedoya has been so good here in this first half. Little crafty move, starts playing inside, goes outside, and then Torbert just flirting with the back line, slips inside, and almost has her toe to the front post, but Hera said not this time, not again, and she claims it.
Essentially by Bedoya. Villaret scoops a pass along to Colton. Colton rolls one through. Torbert on the double. Dangerous runs being made by Deja Torbert. And she has 2 goals in the first 40 minutes. DC Power lead in this one. 2-0. A big smile for Omen Namazi and company. The home side are up 2 goals to the good.
Fort Lauderdale is going to have to meet after this goal because Torbert is tearing them up right now. Again, this ball picked off in the midfield. Crafty play by DC, and then Colton just sees her streaking past Van Treek on the outside. A beautifully timed run by Torbert on the outside. It's so difficult, but Van Treek doesn't see her at all coming on that outside and slips it past Hera, who was charging forward. Namazi with a big grin after that goal.
Really well done by Deja Torbert. Clearly wanted it on that right foot just to let it run across her body before sliding it past Bella Hera. Very similar finishes, having it on that right foot on the right side of the box to the near post. She's got 2 today, 2 as a pro, and they both come in the last 41 minutes. How do Fort Lauderdale respond to this one?
And what's really underrated about that goal is the pass by Emily Colton. The pace of it has to be perfect to get past the back line of Fort Lauderdale 1, but then also for her to just redirect it onto goal. Really well-played soccer, full team soccer in this first half for DC.
On the midfield, it's with DC. Bagley, Villaret. Villaret holds off one challenge here, able to keep it in play. Edged off of it, though, by Gordon, who plays it centrally for Hamid. Jasmine Hamid is poked away from her by Bagley. Nabet trying to quickly work it to the far side of the field, only finds Susanna Fitch. Thrown in here by Page. It's lifted forward. This one angles out of play. Bounces out for a throw in here for Fort Lauderdale. They've been outshot 8-1. They're trailing 2-0, but they have lots of talent up front. Shania Gordon moving into a more advanced position. Some rotations made, some tweaks from Ali Rogers off the heels of their 1-0 win against Carolina on Saturday. DC executing extremely well in the first half. They The brace from Deja Torbert. And she's on the ball now. Yumechi goes down. Referee will let play continue as Hamid comes onto it. Ademaluyi is alongside on the left, trying to fire a low shot perhaps from Hamid. It misses wide. It'll be a second shot of the game from Fort Lauderdale. Maybe a bit of frustration there from the visiting side.
They just seem really disconnected and trying to rush their attack right now. Hamid didn't either see Ademaluyi coming more inside or tried to shoot that and it just misdirected off of her foot. But Sid Cummings was out and it was a perfect opportunity for Fort Lauderdale to attack with numbers up.
That's going to be a foul and a free kick. Kelly Van Treek has caught the attention of Danielle Chesky. Just says maybe no more. The left back, maybe on a tighter leash perhaps for the next half or so. Aquino will take this free kick. Rolled forward. Yumechi. An inviting pass, a slid forward for Ademaluyi. Page gets there first and plays it back to Aquino. Gorley to chase. Forces the clearance away as we enter into 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Gianna Gorley earning that throw in with that run over the top. She assisted the first goal of the game. Sliding one forward for Deja Torbert, who has scored both of the goals in this contest. Had 5 shots across 5 matches entering today. No goals as a pro, but has bagged her first 2 this evening on just 2 shots. Colton has her pass intercepted. Yumechi forced away from this one. It's back to Simpson.
And that was Deja Torbert who came all the way back to put the pressure on in the midfield. Right now she's doing it all for DC. This entire squad, it looks really confident.
Ademaluyi cuts it back to Nabet, who tries to slide it forward to Ademaluyi. It's knocked away by Cummings. Out for a throw in here. 1 minute left of the minimum, added on at the end of the half. Perhaps one more chance for Fort Lauderdale to try and cause some chaos and try and ask some questions. Ademaluyi can't link up there with Nabet. And DC will be in no rush to restart play here. Another throw one though by Fort Lauderdale. 30 seconds left. Ademaluyi trying to turn up against Page one-on-one. There was a slight bump from behind. Was there? No, there wasn't. Good work from the center forward for Fort Lauderdale, and they have a corner with just seconds left in the first half. First corner of the match for the visiting side. Taylor Smith stands over it. Smith clips across into the box. It bounces around, and a goal back into the game for Fort Lauderdale United. They've cut the lead in half in the final seconds of the first 45. It's DC 2, Fort Lauderdale 1.
Fort Lauderdale doing everything they can to get one back here in this first half. Ella Simpson doing a fantastic job of just getting her body on this ball. There were bodies flying everywhere. It looks like she hit it with the back of her head, and it ricocheted into the goal.
They won't ask how.
It doesn't matter.
It's the same. Simpson has now 3 goals on the season, and as a defender, a very good return. She had a similarly scrappy one against Spokane earlier on. this year. She's got her third now. It's the third goal of this game, a thriller that has reached halftime. It's DC 2, Fort Lauderdale 1. Your thoughts on this one so far, Jade?
Well, first of all, Ella Simpson scoring that goal. Ever since she stepped into this Fort Lauderdale side, she's made such an impact, seamlessly stepped into their system of play at center back and outside back now. But we have a match. Fort Lauderdale looked really out of it most of that first half, but have really added that one to the scoreboard and going to want to build on it in the second half. For DC, they've just really controlled this match from start to finish here in the first 45, playing really connected together and then capitalizing on their opportunities, something that head coach Omid Namazi really needed his team to do.
Halftime coming up here. We're joined now by Deja Torbert. Deja, thank you for taking some time after that first 45, and congrats on your first 2 goals for DC. I want to ask you about that first goal. What was kind of going through your mind when you have that ball over the top from Gianna?
Honestly, I was just happy it got off her foot because I was already making the run for it. I saw their back line was super staggered, and I was like, I'm going to go. We scouted that, so we knew it was coming, and I was on the run for it. So I knew what to do. I knew to put it in the back of the net for sure.
Fort Lauderdale sneaking one in the last seconds of the first half. How do you guys keep the momentum and keep your foot on the gas pedal here in the second?
We stay locked in. We go into the locker room and we discuss what happened, and we stick to the game plan. We know that it was a lack of communication there, so we just need to stay on top of it for the next 45. And in this game, we're hungry for a win, and we need to do it here while we're home. So we're looking for that win for sure.
Deja, congrats on your goals. Best of luck in the rest of the match.
Thank you so much.
Deja Torbert, the first 2 goals of the game. It's turning into a good one on this Wednesday evening. DC Power 2-1 up over Fort Lauderdale United. Halftime coming up here. We'll look at what's still to come in the week in the Gamebridge Super League. After 45 minutes at Audi Field, it's DC Power 2, Fort Lauderdale United 1.
This year, the talent is even stronger than last year. Gianna Gorley has scored again. The first goal in 40-10 history.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water unique? It's our commitment to making our bottles from at least 50% recycled plastic. In fact, Crystal Geyser is the only beverage company in the U.S. to exclusively own and operate 2 plastic recycling facilities. And you can help us make an impact too by always remembering to recycle your bottles. Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Simple, but not easy.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
We're through 45 minutes in the nation's capital. DC Power FC lead 2-1 in this one in the search of their first home win this season in the Gainbridge Super League. Take a look at our news and notes from across the league at this juncture of the campaign. Tampa Bay getting their first win of the season on Sunday in a gutsy 1-0 win on the road against Spokane, while Ashland Puerta is just on absolute fire. 9 goals this season, scored in 3 straight, while Lexington, on a 10-match unbeaten run, is looking to try and tie the record set last year by Carolina. They lead the table with 17 points already this season, 4 wins, 5 draws. Fort Lauderdale behind them, chasing, trying to at least match or better their current total. We can look at the upcoming schedule and what's still to come in the Gainbridge Super League this week. It starts on Saturday with a 3-match slate. Starts with Brooklyn taking on Lexington. That should be a really interesting one with the league leaders, as things stand, trying to go on the road and earn all 3 points, while Fort Lauderdale head home and complete their busy week against Tampa Bay at 7:30 p.m. in that Florida Derby against Tampa Bay, a match that went 0-0 earlier this season in the regular season, and of course a rematch from last year's final. Well, the final game at 9 Eastern will be Spokane taking on Dallas Trinity to round out the evening on Peacock. Here are the standings as it stands for DC. How important could these 3 points be? They would go level on points with Carolina, ahead of them on goal difference, and be just 1 point behind Spokane in that push for a playoff spot. Still 45 minutes to go in this one, though. Fort Lauderdale know if they can try and get back into it, they could try and take top spot in the Gainbridge Super League. We've got highlights coming up for you on the other side of this break. It's DC 2, Fort Lauderdale 1. 45 minutes down in the nation's capital at Audi Field. 3 goals already in it between the two teams. DC scored 2 to start. Fort Lauderdale pulling 1 back late. Let's look at how we've gotten to this point alongside Jade Barquette. I'm Jack Edwards with you in the broadcast booth. A move that starts with Morgan Aquino in the DC net moves along to Gianna Gorley, who does really well to open up an angle and slide one through for Deja Torbert, who scores her first pro goal.
You love a goal that starts from the build-up from back to front. This one was pure class by Deja Torbert. She takes her time in placing this ball, no rush, so calm on the ball, and just slips it right past Hera.
Torbert scored that one in the 21st minute. 40th minute we jump to now. It's some really good work in the midfield between Theoret and Colton, and it's Colton who gets the assist, again sliding Torbert through, who gets her brace.
A beautifully timed run by Torbert Colton with the perfect pace of a pass right to her in stride, and then she just doing what a goal scorer does, putting her toe on the end of it to put her team up 2-0.
A goal that could change the game, though, came in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Taylor Smith corner finds Ella Simpson. They don't really know how, but it's in the goal.
Fort Lauderdale absolutely needed this goal at the end of the waning seconds of the first half, throwing bodies into the box, and Ella Simpson hammers it home for them to be within 1.
So Simpson makes it 2-1. Your stats here. Quick thoughts from you on these stats.
DC just had the better half from Fort Lauderdale. They maintained possession of the ball. They took advantage of the opportunities that they have, really stretched Fort Lauderdale's midfield, and that's why you see the numbers that they are ahead in all of the categories.
A commanding half for DC, but just a 1-goal lead. What stands to come at Audi Field? It's DC 2, Fort Lauderdale 1 after 45. Just moments away from our second 45 minutes from Audi Field. Deja Torbert had a first half brace. It was canceled out, though, in part by a goal from Ella Simpson in the final seconds of the first half. It means that it's DC Power 2, Fort Lauderdale United 1 as things stand. Gorley and Torbert linked up for that first goal for DC Power to great effect on a chilly evening, ticking below 50 degrees now. We see a halftime change has been made by Fort Lauderdale. Julia Grosso has come onto the field in place of Shania Gordon, so it will likely result in a bit of a shift in personnel. Van Treek to the right wing, Grosso to left back, as Fort Lauderdale try and chase another goal and come back from down 2-0. I'm Jack Edwards alongside Jade Barquette here with you on this Wednesday night. Deja Torbert trying to get off to a quick start in this second half. There's confirmation of that sub, top left of your screen. Grosso in, Gordon out. Fitch had a number of players in front of her. Torbert was unmarked in the box for a moment. Colton, the other player who assisted Torbert for her first half brace. Good to hear from her at the end of that first half in that interview. Getting her first 2 goals of the season, just on 2 shots here today. Had to wait after 5 matches already this season, no goals. Able to bag 2. It's a really good move from Jada Bedoya as advantage is played. Drives it to the end line and tries to play a ball in that results in an early corner now for the home side.
DC really picking up right where they left off in that first half. Deja Torbert, who started the possession for DC with the takeaway from Anspro in the back line for Fort Lauderdale, and then they were just really patient. Susanna Fitch tried to get the ball, but then just circled it around their back line to the other side of the field, and now they have a corner on the opposite side of the field, just really patient in their build-up.
Colton will go short with this one. A move clipped into the box, a confident header out, cushioned down by Fitch. The strike from distance took a deflection along the way, and it means we'll do it all over again, this time on the near side. A corner for DC Power. Fitch, the captain for DC, having the shot that was blocked. It was from this spot that Fort Lauderdale delivered a corner in maybe 20 minutes ago. That resulted in that goal for them. That really changes the complexion at halftime. Just a 1-goal game, so different than being down 2-0. Colton again, tasked with the corner. This time goes directly into the box. It's pushed away. Gilbert leaves it. Page, it's won by Hamid and cleared away by the Fort Lauderdale defense. We can reset at the back. Jay, after 45 minutes, what do you think both teams are trying to do differently or trying to do the same here in half number 2?
Well, DC really just needs to continue what they were doing in the first half, maintaining possession, be really patient in their build-up and the way that they possess the ball. They just played really free in the first half, and you could tell in how they attacked.
Adamalui running onto this one. Aquino gets there, had to. It's lifted forward and saved by Morgan Aquino. Princess Adamalui is down after a strong challenge from Morgan Aquino. And it had to be right from Aquino. Got there in time.
Just a really tough challenge. Aquino doing everything that she can to do her job, but gets all of the shin of Adamalui there.
Adamalui back on her feet. Moving a little slower after a really strong challenge from Aquino.
But for Fort Lauderdale, I would like to see her hold the ball up more and then connect with their midfield. The midfield for Fort Lauderdale just got really strung out in that first half because DC was moving the ball around so well. But when Fort Lauderdale's in possession, can they link up play with their forwards and their midfield to really create chances on the outside, because the center backs for DC are doing a really good job of locking down the central part of the pitch.
It's the second start for Princess Adamalui in her Fort Lauderdale United career. 6th overall appearance for the 19-year-old English forward. Gorley, good challenge from behind by Hamid, makes things a little difficult. It's rolled out wide. Torbert lifts it into the box, trying to turn provider. Pushed away. Strong challenge. It's won back by Van Treek. And now numbers for Fort Lauderdale can begin to roam forward. Cummings intercepts the pass, aiming for Adamaluyi. Theoret back to Cummings.
DC just completely shut the door on any space in between that back three as they were recovering, doing a really good job of limiting the space that Van Treek was able to play through to Adamaluyi, who looked like she was running off sides because of the line of DC. Their back line just playing tremendous right now.
Here's Cummings. Pulls it along to Gilbert, one of two players in the field right now on yellow cards. Something to watch out for as it rolls kindly for Fitch. Big touch out of her feet, but the referee thought about it for a moment and will pull it back. It's a foul. Lily Nabet, who's feeling that left leg, wins the free kick. And really a thankful whistle to be heard for Fort Lauderdale. There was a real opportunity there with Fitch, but it's pulled back for the foul. Namazi, frustrated with that one. Strong challenge in there. It's pushed forward. It spins kindly for Jasmine Hamid. Big touch out of her feet. At the end line, kept it in play, but Aquino kept her spot. Deja Torbert keeps it in play, trying to play a 1-2 here. Hand up there from Gorley, couldn't get the return pass to her. Long ball forward here. Gilbert nods it down. Yumechi. Really good challenge from Theoret in the midfield. Colton. Bedoya. Try to turn, it's blocked. Out of play for a throw in here for DC. Slipped through for Nabet. Past one challenger and can roll it along to Julia Grosso. The halftime substitute Grosso. Hamid goes backwards with this one. Ansbrow. Hamid lays one along. Theoret gets there first and gives it to Bagley. Can go back to Fitch. Colton turns, able to roll it back to Fitch. Here's Cummings now at the heart of the DC defense. Trying to roll one through the midfield. Rolled back, Aquino under a lot of pressure here. And with that touch from the forward, gratefully able to pick that one up.
That one was really close, though. Adamaluyi, who was right there at the top of the 18 with her hands up.
Here's the ball forward for Gianna Gorley. As Torbert centrally, Gorley, really strong challenge put in there from Ansbrow, and it's hooked forward. Cummings was fouled by Hamid in the center circle and wins a free kick. 2-1, DC power lead in this one. Both goals coming from Deja Torbert. And an interesting stat here, first player to score in a match where she scores her first goal, to score 2 goals in a game since Kiara Locklear, who scored her first goals in a brace last December against Carolina. Torbert, who came into this one with no goals in the Gainbridge Super League, picked up her first 2 today and becomes the first player since Locklear to score that brace for her first goals.
Kiara Locklear, who's hasn't seen the field tonight for Fort Lauderdale, is such a weapon for them. She's able to score out of nowhere, it seems. She leads her team in goals with 4. She's so dynamic up top, creative in so many different ways. She'll float outside to interchange with her other forwards to get looks on the outside as well, and part of that rotation that we might see tonight.
Would not be surprised to see her. Her team are under a bit of pressure here. Colton, who's had a few shots from distance, opts to lays it along to Fitch. Her shot blocked. Cushioned header for Colton. Rolls it back. Susanna Fitch trying to lift it into the area. Powerful header away. Numechi just has it taken away from her, does it? It's clean. There was no foul there. But Fort Lauderdale persist with it. The bet goes to Hamid. And Stella Numechi is down but back on her feet, hobbling a little. But play will continue. Hera trying to zip a pass along to the far side of the field. Will find a player in Van Treek. Poked backwards. Back to Aquino. Cummings. Colton. Knocked out of play here. The Gainbridge Super League season is in full swing. You can visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Gainbridge Super League. Grosso forward to Numechi. Good strength shown. Hamid. Back to Ansbrow. Ansbrow, that other player on a yellow card at this point in the match. One back by Bagley. Very well done. DC now in the attack. Gorley moves it on to that right foot and misses just wide. You can't afford to give Gianna Gorley space like that. And in that instance, misses just wide of Bella Hera's net.
She picks this ball up in a prime position, and once again, it's just the aggressiveness of her midfield. Colton picks this one up for her and then finds a window in between the back line for Fort Lauderdale.
Here's Gorley again. Important second challenge there. She had gotten past Mikamiski, but could not get past Ansbrow.
When you play against your former team, you play with a little chip on your shoulder. You can see that from her. She is itching for a goal tonight.
9 appearances for Fort Lauderdale United for Gianna Gorley. Scored on her debut after joining DC Power. All 7 of her goals in the Gainbridge Super League season, in the inaugural season, came with DC. 5 more this season, 12 in all. You mentioned it in the open, Jade. All-time leading scorer for DC Power. Says Adamaluyi wins the throw-in. Gilbert. It's one back. Numechi trying to slide it forward. It will break through for Van Treek. 3 options in the box for Fort Lauderdale, now 4, as Kelly Van Treek does well to win a corner.
It was a great recovery by Paige as that ball went right behind her. A great through pass by Numechi, but it just gets by Paige's toe. She does a really good job of getting back and putting Van Treek under pressure. So she has to force the play out wide.
Taylor Smith had an assist in the final seconds of the first half. Tossed it in for Ella Simpson. She again launches a corner in the box. That's well claimed by Morgan Aquino. Going through a sea of bodies to get to that one. Rolls it forward for Torbert. Started waiting for options with her. There's a lot around her in white. It is forced all the way back to Aquino. And Ping a good pass to the far side of the field now. Bedoya, Theoret. Lifts it through for Bagley. She can't get a good foot to it, but Colton can intercept in the midfield. Here's Colton with Bedoya far side of the field. She can receive. Gorley points to where she wants it. Bedoya drives to the defense and gets past. Rolls it back for Bagley to Gorley. Can she get her shot off? Courageous defending, but Colton puts it just wide. They got their shot from that sequence, but DC missed just wide.
Just close call after close call here for DC. A beautiful slip ball in by Bedoya, and Gorley finds herself exactly where she wants to be, but great defending by Fort Lauderdale. Just get numbers in front of her, and Colton is going to want that one back just wide of the post from point blank range. Again, that's one of those where you just have to pass back into the net.
Slipped forward. Here is Colton. Can she immediately redeem herself? Moves it along and just gets a touch a little wrong there, out for a goal kick. DC are getting these chances. Emily Colton has been so dangerous today. Got her second assist of the season on that second goal for Deja Torbert.
She's really a weapon in the midfield for DC. Not only can she create chances for her teammates, she creates chances for herself because of the run she makes out of the midfield to the 18-yard box, just ready for those balls that her teammates will play for her. Julia Grosso just did a really good job of recovering there.
Gilbert, Fitch. Strong challenge put in there between Torbert and Grosso. And Grosso is a little slow to get back up, and the referee will pause play here. It was a heavy challenge between Grosso and Torbert, and Julia Grosso is in a little bit of discomfort after it.
That was a really tough tackle. I cringed when I saw them collide. She's working back to try and recover that pass, and then just gets stomped by Torbert as she was coming back right on the shin, it looks like, of her right leg.
Grosso back on her feet. There was no whistle initially there. So in the end, it is a free kick. Nyemechi whips one forward. It's allowed to bounce through to Aquino. Oh, this is blocked. Might spin kindly for Fort Lauderdale. Nabet rolls it to Hamid. Poked away from her by Theoret. Important touch there, but Fort Lauderdale have it in the attacking half after a turnover from DC. As part of that game management, how do DC see out this win? When do they begin to cease playing out from the back? When does it become too much risk, not enough reward? Less than half an hour of the 90 to be played. Good tackle from Smith. It stays in play. Gorley trying to turn here. It spins backwards. Hamid trying to get onto it. Does so. Hamid opens an angle, and it trickles just wide. It was saved by Morgan Aquino, and it keeps the lead for DC, denying Jasmine Hamid.
Just a little bit lax in the way that they were trying to possess was DC, and then Hamid uses her speed to get on the inside shoulder of Paige and just tries to slip this one through. A great save by Aquino, just pushes this one slightly wide. That's really better from Fort Lauderdale than that first half, especially for Jasmine Hamid, who really wasn't on the ball that much at all in the first half. If they want a chance to win this game, she has to be on the ball more.
Nyemechi whips this one into the box. It's pushed away, not fully dealt with, and that one creeps just wide. There was that heart and mouth moment where did that one hit the side netting or on the inside, and it missed just wide. Last off DC, out for another corner.
Hemechi's service has been so great. You see Van Treek there getting in Aquino's face, making her make that save. And then that one just on the outside. It looked from our vantage point that it might have gone in from where we saw it.
Ademaluyi with the shot that was blocked. Simpson has the lone goal of the game for Fort Lauderdale. It came from a corner, delivered by Taylor Smith. She puts one into the box again in the mix. That header just too high. Kelly Van Treek was under it, but couldn't get the header on frame. It's a goal kick now for DC.
Well, I like that corner kick play by Fort Lauderdale, the way that they were spread out, and then right before the service was made, they all crashed into the box, but Van Treek made her run and then backed up so she could have a lot more space to go and attack the ball as it was coming towards her. That's exactly what happened, and she almost had a perfect opportunity on goal. That one just went above the crossbar.
Fitch couldn't keep that one in play. It went out for a throw-in. She gets onto this one here. Less question about this. It is a throw-in for Fort Lauderdale. That's a foul from behind by Jasmine Hamid. Goes the way of DC Power.
We'll take another look at it here. You don't get to see the full view of it, but you see Van Treek kind of trailing her run behind and then coming to attack the ball. She makes the run early enough so that her feet are set and ready to attack it rather than falling away from the ball. She's so good with her head when the ball is coming towards her. She's going to want that one back. You saw her slap her hands after it went over the crossbar, knowing that was a prime position for them to score.
Hamid, good bit of control. Stalin Yamechi can't get past Theoret. Now for a throw in here for DC. Ademaluyi holding off Page. This is last off Page, so it's going to be a corner again for Fort Lauderdale United. We saw that delivery from Taylor Smith a moment ago, dropping one in for Kelly Van Treek. It was dangerous. Of course, that's how they've gotten their goal. They've been knocking on the door for a second. Can they try and capitalize here? Smith's corner. In a dangerous spot again. Cummings able to flick it along. Ademaluyi rolls it along edge of the area. The shot coming in from Laurel Ansbrow go out of play. So two more changes to be made here by Fort Lauderdale United. Princess Ademaluyi and Taylor Smith will be the ones to make way here, with Kiara Locklear and Kat Gonzalez to come into the game. Gonzalez and Locklear have featured in every match so far this season. Locklear, this is the first time for her coming off of the bench, a very energetic forward. It's a different look for her so far in 2025-26.
Coach Ali Rogers is going to look to Locklear to get their attack even more energized here in the second half. As time ticks away, she's going to want to look for that equalizer and then eventually the go-ahead goal.
Locklear, her first touch. Tunya Mechi can't quite get to Van Treek. Gonzalez, her first touch. Nabet. Grasso. She was the first sub that was made in this match. Hamid holds off one challenger, and it comes to Kiara Locklear. Locklear back to Grasso. Nabet opens a crossing angle, lifted into the area. It's pushed away only as far as Kat Gonzalez. Nabet scoops it into the area. It's cleared away and now carried away by the DC defense. Great tackle from Hamid. Nabet plays it along. Locklear now with it. Lots of pressure from this Fort Lauderdale attack. Yamechi past Bedoya. Trying to get a cross off here. Bedoya puts the challenge in. It's another Fort Lauderdale corner kick.
As soon as those two subs were made, it looked like a completely different Fort Lauderdale side. The energy was immediately raised. The speed of play in which they were playing right in front of the 18 was higher. They were playing trickier. That is the difference when you have these game changers step onto the pitch.
Yamechi will take the corner from the far side this time round. It's whipped in. Van Treek attacks. It's flicked along here. Gonzalez gets there first. Yamechi puts it into the area. Colton able to push it outside of the 18, but only as far as Kat Gonzalez. Van Treek. And it's just hooked away by Fitch. 70 minutes down here. Van Treek on the turn, plays one in, aiming for Locklear, intercepted by Page, who can clear it upfield. Those subs, as you mentioned, Jade, have really pinned DC deep here.
Now we've kind of seen a different second half from this Fort Lauderdale side. DC was really in control all the way through the first half and some here into the second. But as these subs have stepped on the pitch for Fort Lauderdale, they've really just raised the level, added energy, fresh legs that they've needed, and taken over this game. Now for DC, can they weather the storm? Can they put the pressure back on Fort Lauderdale? They need to maintain possession to do that and then add one to the score sheet.
Fitch rolls it back to Theoret. Bedoya darts this one wide, trying to lift it into the box. Hara gets under it. Since the 60th minute, it's been pretty much one-way traffic. All three shots have been Fort Lauderdale's. They've got 60% of the possession along those last 11 and a half minutes. Those subs have come at a good time as well for the visiting team. They got their goal in the final seconds of the first half. They're trying to continue their comeback into the final 20 of the 90. Long ball forward. Locklear down for Yamechi. Yamechi trying to fire it along to Hamid. Not able to get there in time, and it runs out of play for a goal kick for the home side.
That one seemed just like a little rushed for Fort Lauderdale, but better from Locklear to link up play with Yamechi in the midfield. Use her 10 to try to slip Jasmine Hamid in. That ball just a little overhit. But smart thinking for Fort Lauderdale as they try to get more numbers in the box.
It's going to be a throw in here for DC Power. Bedoya for Torbert. In the midfield, Colton gets to it first. Is that a foul from behind from Hamid? Yes, it is. A little overzealous in that challenge, results in a free kick. Daniel Chesky will have a word with Hamid, but it looks like nothing more than just that.
Well, Jack, Jada Bedoya and Susanna Fitch have actually switched sides on that wing back. Susanna now on the left, Bedoya now closer to the sideline here on the right. Just dealing with the pace from each side. Bedoya can really exploit Fort Lauderdale on this right side, getting past Grosso. Susanna Fitch can really create on the left side, cutting in with her right.
Gilbert fires one forward. It's flicked along. Gorley the target. Torbert got ahead to it. Still in the mix here. It's back to Fitch. Back to Theoret. She can put one into the mix just over the head of Torbert. She's hunting for that hat trick. Strong challenge put in by Deja Torbert. As you see, 2 subs are being prepped here for DC Power. They won't happen at this moment. Hamid. Left by Hamid. Cleverly done. Nabet gets to it. Bedoya making things difficult. She's brought down here. Jada Bedoya gets the foul on Lily Nabet. It results in a free kick, and it is a chance now for 2 subs to come into the match for DC Power, trying to inject some of their own life from the bench. Coming into the game will be Madison Mernon and Katrina Guiu, with Emily Colton and Paige Almendarez, the 2 players set to make way. So 2 like-for-like changes in the midfield and in the back line, just to try and offer some fresh legs on the field.
I like these subs for Omid Namazi. Colton has had such a good game, and so has Paige right there in the back line. These fresh legs going to provide some stability in the midfield and backside for DC, as they know the threats for Fort Lauderdale to continue to come down that side.
Yumechi whips this free kick into the box. Cummings gets ahead to it. It's allowed to drop, cleared away by Theoret. Stay up to date with the Gainbridge Super League. You can sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Nabet. Grasso. Hamid going to the end line, fires it in centrally, and it bounces all the way through for Bagley. Rolled forward here. Gianna Gorley on the turn. Pings a pass along. Fitch. Torbert. Good strength from Theoret. Was pulled back there. It's going to be a foul. And Kelly Van Treek, who might have been warned, is now officially cautioned. Van Treek and Laurel Ansbrow and Ellie Gilbert are the 3 players that are on yellow cards, 2 for Fort Lauderdale. Perhaps more importantly for DC Power, more time to kill off the clock after earning this free kick.
Definite foul after just the pull of the jersey and the arm. Trying to regain possession there for Kelly Van Treek, but she plays so tough. You can tell how much she cares, not only for the game, but for her teammates as well. Surprised that one wasn't called either.
It was advantage played, and can they capitalize here? Fitch trying to lift it into the box. It was a little over hit, and in the end bounces out of play for a goal kick. Hera with the goal kick, waving numbers forward. Fort Lauderdale have certainly looked livelier in this second half than they did in the first, but they haven't scored like they did in the first half, perhaps against the run of play. But they need one more if they want to try and come from behind and earn some points on the road. They'll be following up on a really good win at Carolina on Saturday, 1-0. Jasmine Hamid scored the only one in that contest. This is slid forward, aiming for Locklear. A little overhit for her, but she'll continue the press past Cummings and towards Aquino. A chance now for another sub for DC Power. Loza Abera will be coming in for Deja Torbert. A very good day at the office for Deja Torbert. Came into today with just 5 shots, no goals on the season. Leaves it with 2 goals.
She has done so well in this match today, really put in a shift of work for DC. Just picked up the ball in some critical areas and converted on those goal chances when they needed her the most. Get some fresh legs in for her right now as they're looking to close out this win.
Abera comes on in place of Torbert for the 3rd change made by DC. Lily McCarthy and Kate Colvin also coming into the game for Madison Mikamiski and Stella Numetchi. So all 5 swaps have been made by Allie Rogers. Going to her bench. Just a 4th sub appearance for McCarthy. 3rd for Colvin. Players that are beginning their professional career after long collegiate careers. They're going to try and make an impact here in this one. It's laid off for Abera. Loza Abera immediately off the bench, trying to make an impact, fires it centrally. It's cleared away, and Hamid is first to it. Hamid driving at the defense. May have been a good challenge from Theoret to get the ball knocked away. Guiu, a little overhit on that pass. Grosso. Now Hamid. Trying to lift a pass forward, and Morgan Aquino will easily kill some time, force Locklear into a press.
She can't kill too much time with Locklear, as fast and quick as she is, right up in front of her grill. But for both these teams, they can't let this game speed them up. And what I mean by that is they just need to calm down in moments where they have possession, especially for DC, who are in the driver's seat in terms of winning this match right now. They have to be able to maintain possession and not get caught up in Fort Lauderdale's game of wanting to play quickly and higher up the pitch faster so that they can score a goal.
Good touch here from Jada Bedoya. Can drive at the defense. Abera slows her run. It's rolled back to her. Knocked away. The open player is Susanna Fitch. Laces one up, and it strikes the crossbar. Abera taps it home. DC retake their 2-goal advantage. And Loza Abera off the bench with an instant impact. Her 2nd of the season makes it DC 3, Fort Lauderdale 1.
And what a game changer of a sub is Loza Abera. This ball driving down the line by Bedoya. The 2nd ball picked up after Susanna Fitch's rocket of a shot that hit the crossbar. And Abera doing what she does best, just picking up those 2nd balls. She's so good about doing the dirty work in front of net and putting the ball away when they need it the most. And she steps onto the pitch, and with only a few touches, one of them is a goal.
How important could that goal be in the landscape of this match, in the landscape of the season for DC Power?
Yeah, and when we came out of the halftime interview, they really just emphasized the importance of closing out this game and getting that home win. And that just gives them all the more confidence and really takes the wind out of Fort Lauderdale sails, who were really pounding on the doorstep for that goal.
It was a fantastic first 45 minutes from DC. They looked really good value for their 2-goal lead. As Gianna Gorley commits the foul, and in kicking the ball away will receive a yellow card. But it was a bit of a surprise goal at the end of the half. It really was pretty one-way traffic for DC against Fort Lauderdale. And that goal for Fort Lauderdale really made it an interesting potential next 45 minutes. It's been back and forth, and now it's not smooth sailing yet. Still 6 minutes plus stoppage time. But the goal is massive. There was a push from Gorley, and kicking it away results in her yellow card. Kat Gonzalez stands over this one. A lot of players in white jerseys are forward to try and get something onto this. Eight in white are in and around the 18-yard box for Kat Gonzalez. Gonzalez whips one in, flicked along towards goal. And Locklear's initial header, she says it may have taken a deflection off a DC player. Referee disagrees. It's a goal kick for DC Power.
DC not even going to try to build up in this moment right here, knowing that Fort Lauderdale will run as soon as they can straight to the ball off the 18.
Nodded forward. Here's Fitch. Claws it away. It's one here. Locklear trying to squeeze it forward. Throws in a challenge herself. That one is last off of DC, so it's a Fort Lauderdale throw-in. They scored late on in the first half to cut the deficit in half. They need to do something similar in the next few moments if they want to try and give themselves a good chance at leaving the nation's capital with at least a point. Bagley clears. All the way back to Bella Hera. Nabet. Hamid lays it off. Nabet to Grosso. Julie Grosso now with Locklear. Going wide, trying to put one in. It's deflected off of Susanna Fitch. Out for a corner kick now. Locklear was in a wide position when they got their goal against Carolina. Very versatile forward, in this instance, wins a corner kick.
That's exactly what Fort Lauderdale needs from her in this moment. Drifting out wide, kind of confusing the back line of DC, making sure that they have eyes on her, knowing where she's at all time is important for them, but she's playmaker wherever she is on the pitch, and she earns her team a corner kick there.
Kat Gonzalez with the in-swinging corner. Cummings, yet again, wins the initial header, and in this instance, wins a foul as well. What a center back performance it's been from Sydney Cummings in the heart of the defense. 10 straight starts for her. She's in this DC backline. They've conceded just one goal today. She's been very good in that spot.
Yeah, she's just been a player that head coach Omid Namazi is one of their unsung heroes for this DC Power team. She's the leader of their back line. She's been so steady and strong for them throughout this entire season. And she has been stellar tonight, just commanding the back line. The presence that she has been stellar.
Rosa Ibarra is trying to chase this one down, and she wins that race to keep it in play. And may think that the ball doesn't need to leave the corner. Tries to play it, though, in for a supporting run being made by Bedoya. Gonzalez moves it out wide. DC Power lead 3-1 in search of their first home win this season. They won just 2 games in 2024-25, trying to get a big bounce back result. They won 3-2. They conceded relatively late on against Dallas to make it an eventful finish in the Lone Star State. But they were able to see the job off, but they lost to Brooklyn in the follow-up to that one. This would be a way to pick up 6 points from 3 games. Their first victory at home. They've got 1 minute of regulation plus whatever stoppage time comes after that to see through. And then for the first time this season, there'll be celebrations at home. Guiu lifts it centrally. It's moved out wide. Fitch gets under it. Pulled centrally by Bagley. Gorley may think about getting one herself. It's saved. Ibarra, the rebound, but it's offside. The flag goes up. Ibarra does not have her brace. It's still 3-1.
But so close for Loza Ibarra. Gorley finds herself in a perfect position. I think the scoop ball is DC's thing tonight. They've been doing it so much, but she finds herself in perfect position. Ibarra almost there for the rebound once again. Gorley could have had the opportunity to play her that slip pass through before she had taken her shot. But she's been wanting a goal so bad in this match. I don't blame her. You're against your former team.
Striker
Might
too.
as well.
3 minutes added on. That's going to be a foul here going against Bagley. It's the first time at home for DC, scoring 3 goals since May against Dallas. You score 3 at home, you really hope you're going to get all 3 points. Whipped in, bounces all the way through to Aquino, and she deals with it there.
2 lone runners there for Fort Lauderdale that were unmarked. You saw Sid Cummings just yelling at her teammates to make sure that they are tracked in the box. You cannot have free runners at a time like this with Fort Lauderdale so lethal when it comes to converting.
Bagley powers through here. Ibarra peels off. Grosso comes onto it, wins it back. It's well left there. The referee, though, does agree there was a clip of the heels, and it's a foul.
That was a veteran move by Susanna Fitch. Just get in front of Grosso and see that ball out, but they call it a foul instead. Very slick, sly veteran move there by Susanna Fitch, though, to try to see that one out of bounds.
We're halfway through the stoppage time. Our DC halfway there to their first win at home this season. McCarthy rolls it forward to Hamid. Jasmine Hamid latches onto it and wins a corner. If there's going to be a grandstand finish for Fort Lauderdale, it starts here. May likely be a consolation goal if they get anything from it. Kat Gonzalez stands over this one, 1 assist since joining from Carolina. They've had a lot of corners, a lot of chances from set pieces. They scored 1 from them as Gonzalez drives it into the box dangerously. There was an open header there, but it's missed off frame. It rolls out of play for a DC Power goal kick. Robin Namazi looking on to this one. 2 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats so far is the record this season for DC Power. A chance to leap up into 5th spot. Take a big step forward. They see it out for a goal kick here.
And the 2 wins that they have had, they've scored 3 goals in those wins as well. 3 might be DC's lucky number. Third win, 3 goals.
3 points confirmed. DC Power 3-1 victors over Fort Lauderdale United in the first meeting of the season. And for the first time this year, they're victors at Audi Fields. 2 goals from Deja Torbert and a goal from Loza Ibarra that seals it off. They win 3-1. Your thoughts, Jade?
A complete game by DC. You know how much they wanted this home win. A defeating loss for Fort Lauderdale, who has been flying high so far this season. But DC, the better team tonight, and the way that they possessed the ball, the way they defended together as a team, the subs that stepped on the field, game changers. Obviously, Loza Ibarra with that goal just to give them that security. But just a well-done match from their midfield play upwards, and then the back line holding strong, only holding this Fort Lauderdale team to 1 goal.
Let's take a break here. On the other side of it, we'll talk to the captain of DC Power, Susanna Fitch, as well as give you the highlights, all the goals scored at Audi Fields. It finishes in the nation's capital. DC Power 3, Fort Lauderdale United 1. Full-time at Audi Field, it finishes DC Power 3, Fort Lauderdale United 1. Alongside Jade Barquette, I'm Jack Edwards with you in the broadcast booth, and we're now joined by Susanna Fitch, the captain of DC Power. Susanna, congratulations on the win. It's the first for you guys at home. Just what does that mean for you and the group?
Yeah, I'm so proud of the girls. We knew this was a must-win for us, and we went out there with so much more fight, and you could tell everybody on the field wanted it, so props to the girls for getting it done.
Susanna, a complete game from back to front, start to finish. Is this the best we've seen of DC Power this season?
Yeah, I think it was. Honestly, the fight was there. You know, Deja did a great job of putting away those chances she had, and it was a really good performance. And, you know, we just need to continue to grow on this, and hopefully more wins will come.
Deja and Loza both getting those goals tonight for your team. Talk about just how they've integrated into this system and been bright spots for the forward position.
Yeah, they're incredible players. You can just tell the bravery that they have, and you know, those situations are hard to score, so props to them for putting it away, and we really needed that. We've been working on it all week in practice, and to see it finally come into the game was awesome.
Susanna, congratulations on the win. Enjoy the moments after this one. Congrats.
Thank you. Bye.
Susanna Fitch, the captain of the winning side today, DC Power FC. 3-1 winners over Fort Lauderdale United. Let's look at all the goals from this one. It starts with Susanna Fitch getting one rolled out to her from Morgan Aquino, and then a really good pass here from Gianna Gorley. Slides it over the top, something they worked on, and Deja Torbert puts it home.
Gorley didn't score today, but she made it happen for her teammates. Deja Torbert just so patient and calm in front of the goal. A natural goal scorer tucks this one right by Hera to get her team going. And she did not stop there. She just continued to put the pressure on the back line for Fort Lauderdale with this backside run right on the back shoulder of Van Treek. Just slipped this one right past Hera again. When her team needed her most, she put them on her back and secured those go-ahead goals.
Now the game will make a slight turn here. In the 3rd minute of stoppage time, Taylor Smith drops one in. Ella Simpson drops it in the net.
Fort Lauderdale needed this one right before halftime. The whistle was blown. Ella Simpson just tucked this one away for Fort Lauderdale. They just needed some confidence going into halftime because DC had really controlled most of that match.
Well, 83rd minute now we jump to. It's a 2-1 score. They're trying to see it out. They bring on some subs to try and help influence that, namely Loza Ibarra up front. Fitch's strikes the crossbar, and Ibarra is there to clean it up.
It's just a beautiful cleanup ball by Loza Ibarra. This one almost went in by Susanna Fitch, but she was right there to clean it up. So exciting for this DC team to get their first win at home after such a complete game.
16 shots to 9, 3 goals to 1 they win. Your final thoughts from this one, Jade?
The possession ended even at the end of this match. Fort Lauderdale fought back so hard in the second half, especially when those subs came on the pitch to really raise the energy, and they did. But DC just was the better side tonight with the complete from start to finish. Their back line held strong, and they finished their opportunities in front of net, which they needed to do after that Brooklyn match.
That's their full-time score, 3 goals to 1. For the first time this season, DC Power are winners at home. They get to look forward to another home match against the Carolina Ascent that comes up in 9 days' time. While Fort Lauderdale United, a quick turnaround of Florida Derby on Saturday at home against Tampa Bay. For our entire broadcast crew, my partner Jade Barquette, myself, Jack Edwards, signing off from the nation's capital. DC Power 3, Fort Lauderdale United 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.